whenever you were getting flagged by a lot of our people because of something that got misconstrued or said in a sermon that you were preaching. It's all on Twitter and,
Yes, it was very uncomfortable.
Yeah, all the things.
Nicole said to me, yeah, Priscilla, you know what? She doesn't like you. And it's okay. Everybody's not going to like you.
My criticism isn't really in the form of social or public or anything like that, but it only comes from them not understanding my goal and my vision and where I want to go, and them judging or criticizing the steps that I'm taking right now because it doesn't make sense to them to where I want to go. Where's my mom? I'm a little congested right now. I need to figure it out. What are you wearing?
An evening gown.
What is happening? What? I'm so confused. And you have on heels.
Yep, I'm in an evening gown. We do this in pajamas all the time, and I don't want to today.
What?
I'm just saying sometimes girls just like to dress up and feel ladylike and put together. So this is my choice today.
It's like 10 a.m.
I know. It's okay. I didn't want to wear a onesie today. We do all our episodes in a onesie and pajamas. And today I was like, you know what? I feel like a woman.
I don't know how I feel about that.
You can't say, Mom, you look so nice.
I just don't know how I feel about that. I don't think my phone's on D&D. That's off. That'd be awful. Yeah.
Hi. Ta-da. I mean, you don't look.
I just don't get it. But yeah,
I just wanted to feel womanly today for our podcast. Should we open with our song?
Sure.
Hey, 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 hey.
When's the last time you wore this dress? Like, and what was the occasion? What were you doing?
Well, I don't know if you remember this, but the last time I wore this dress was when you were going to prom and you were getting ready for prom, and your dad and I both dressed up in outfits just to come into your room and just pretend like we were part of prom and that we were going to go to prom with you. Do you remember that? I have pictures of that.
I don't know.
We walked into your room. He had on a whole suit and I had on this dress, and we walked into your room and we were like, this is going to be such a fun night. And you were just like,
same reaction I'm having right now.
Exactly.
What's happening?
So, but I had this made when War Room came out. There was a award show, the Movie Guide Awards. And so this guy made this really quickly in one day for me to wear it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
A day?
he made it in one day. Really,
impressive.
when you think about it, it's just two pieces of fabric. It's this one and the bottom.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah. So he put it together in one day. I wore it the next day for the Movie Guide Awards. And it was very inexpensive. My shoes were inexpensive. So I haven't really worn it. I've worn it like maybe 3 times through the years. And so I just thought today, you know what? This is how I'm doing the podcast today. Thank you for having me, sir.
Okay, well, in light of that, let's just get straight to the chicken. Cut straight to the chase.
What are we talking about today?
So I don't know if everybody remembers, but I know you remember.
Okay.
Whenever you were getting flagged by a lot of our people.
Okay, yes.
A lot of black people in particular because of something that got misconstrued or said in a sermon that you were preaching. It's all on Twitter and,
Yes, it was very uncomfortable.
Yeah, all the things. So the topic is criticism and
That's a good topic. Yeah.
Living in a culture of criticism and the cancel stuff
culture.
and all that stuff.
Yes.
But I want to go back to that time because I don't really know all that happened. I just
Yeah.
remember like vaguely like you mentioning it, whatever, and I didn't really care. So I was like, I don't want to see that. But
That's so sad. My heart was broken and you didn't even care.
Not that I didn't care that it was
You
happening.
didn't know. You weren't
just,
really aware.
Yeah, I wasn't aware. I wasn't on Twitter like that or whatever.
Yeah.
But I want to know, like, give me the context behind it. What was the sermon? Like, how did it all happen?
Yes.
How did it get misconstrued? I'm so curious.
Yes, and then I'm actually happy that you're bringing this up. I mean, the bigger topic, because I think it's so important. How do we deal with criticism? How we take how do we take constructive criticism, but weed out the things that are just noise?
Right.
So in this case, I was shocked one day when I actually friends were calling me, and I was like, I don't even know what y'all are talking about, and was alerted to the fact that someone had taken 60 seconds of a message I was teaching on the armor of God.
Okay.
And the first piece of the armor of God is the belt of truth.
Yep.
So that God's truth is the governing compass for the life of the believer.
Okay.
So I was giving an illustration about that, basically saying that our race, our politics, nothing is supposed to be a priority about what governs our life more than God's truth. So as a point of illustration, I said, I don't define myself as a black woman. I define myself as a Christian woman who is black. Well, in the moment, in an hour-long message, I didn't even realize that I said black woman. What I meant to say was, I don't define myself as a black Christian. Because that gives, and again, I could have said Democratic Christian, Republican Christian, white Christian, black Christian. It doesn't matter. The point was to point out that no part of our humanity is supposed to be the main governing force of our life over and above our faith. That it's his truth first.
Right.
It's our faith, our being a follower of Jesus first, and then all the parts of our humanity come second,
Right.
come after that.
Of course.
So
Right.
we form ourselves into his image, not forming his image into our race,
right.
our culture, our traditions, anything. So it was supposed to just be a casual illustration. It was 5 years prior, so I didn't even remember.
Oh, so it came out 5 years
Oh,
later,
I had given
and
that message 5 years ago.
What are we doing, y'all?
And then someone took 60 seconds out in a very convenient way because
Right.
it was around the time where things were really popping
Off
off
of black
racially
people and stuff like that.
in
Or
the culture, and
minorities,
things
so.
were really divisive. And they pulled that out very conveniently and was like, oh, Priscilla Shirer says she's not a black woman. What? Yeah. So, of course, there was a whole thing where it
How
was
big
on
did
radio.
it get? It was on radio stations and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, there were radio stations talking about it. Blogs were doing blogs about it. People were coming
it
from
got
in the
huge.
comments So it felt. Here's one of the first things that I will say about. That's one of the only times in my life where I've been in the seat of where people are talking about you that you don't even know. People are mad at you about something you didn't even. You're like, what? That's not even what I meant or what I said. It does feel very disorienting because you know your intentions, you know your heart. But obviously if you miscommunicate or something, or people take it out of context, they run with it. And there's no way to not feel devastated by it.
Right, of course.
But here's one of the things I learned about criticism or controversy like that it feels to you like the whole world is talking about it. They not. Usually it's a small group of people that are just very loud and very vocal, and they're in your bubble. So it feels like the whole world. It's actually just this group. But because we're only hearing this group, it feels far bigger to us than it actually is. And if you respond to it, it actually amplifies it beyond what it would have been.
So you didn't say anything?
I did, and that was the problem.
Oh.
That's one of the lessons I learned. I actually responded in a very succinct way, just a little
I'm
paragraph.
going to find this.
But the point is that even when you respond, people aren't actually the people that have a critical heart towards you, it doesn't matter what you say. They're going to take the response and have a problem with the response. Do you see what I'm saying? Most people that just have a critical heart towards you, or they don't like you no way, or they're trying to find issues and come up with stuff, their goal is not redemption. Their goal is not understanding. Their goal is not to make sure they have clarity.
Yep.
Their goal is they trying to get ratings. They trying to get people to watch their stuff. They trying to be salacious. They're trying to be divisive. That's their goal. So it doesn't matter what you say. But when you say it, you give your microphone to them. There are people who didn't even know it was happening.
Right.
If you don't say nothing.
And then you said something that other people didn't know that you was.
So that's one thing I learned, that everything actually doesn't deserve your response.
Do you remember what your response was?
I mean, I'll have to show it to you, but it was just like 2 little short paragraphs that just said, you know, that one of my greatest desires is to communicate clearly. I'm a communicator.
Of course.
So I regret the fact that my communication was not so precise that this could not be brought up as an issue at all.
Right.
I should have been more precise. However, let me be clear. I'm very proud of all of the ways God made me unique. My race, the hair texture I have on my head, my personality, my experiences, my background, all of that is God-given. I do not feel like I have to, and this is what I'm so grateful about for my kids as well. None of us feel like we have to diminish our blackness, diminish our culture to be Christian. We can be holy and be black.
Correct.
So none of that has to be divided. That's true for any person. God made you uniquely in your skin color, your culture, your background. You don't have to diminish that to be in the faith, but you do have to surrender it so that it comes under his authority. So that, I just tried to clarify that really quickly. Some people accepted the clarity. Most people who were the most verbal and loud, and I mean, it was by the thousands. It wasn't just a couple people talking.
Yeah.
There were radio stations talking about it and blog posts talking about it. Some people heard it, but very few. Most of them still made issue of it. Well, now it's convenient to come back and try to.
Right.
Yeah. So I learned that most people's goal in that social media world of berating other folks, canceling other folks, they actually don't want clarity. They actually don't care what your intentions were. They actually don't care.
Right.
They just want to be a part of the drama.
I was just about to say, most of the time nowadays when criticism happens, it's like it's a way to be seen, in a way to like get your views up, get the ratings up,
Totally.
and get traction to your name just by canceling or speaking bad about reaction videos to someone else. Just like, what are we doing?
So it was hard for me because no member of our family is used to being in the middle of controversy. We're just not in the media like that. We're not, front page. We're not doing stuff to warrant that. So it was very uncomfortable for me. However, I did learn valuable lessons about realizing that just because it feels like the whole world, it actually isn't. There are a whole bunch of people that don't even know it's happening.
Right.
And that when you respond, you turn the microphone around to those people. Their voices are louder because you responded. So got to learn who to give our actual energy to, actual time and investment to, and what we're absorbing and allowing to shake up the way we feel.
How did this affect your, in the time span, like when everything was happening, when everything was unfolding? Like, I know you talked about like the lessons and stuff from it, but like in the moment, like emotions, it was like, this is terrible. Were you like stressing about it? Were you you were trying to confide in people to be like, how do I manage this situation?
Yes, that's exactly what happened, because at first I didn't think anything about it. I thought it was no big deal. Then over the next few days, I realized, oh my gosh, this is all on social media. So you realize this is like, oh my goodness. Then I wrestled with wanting to also be responsible. People miss the message from Ephesians chapter 6. They missed, I'm trying to teach God's word here.
Right.
What are we talking about?
I feel like that would probably be the biggest thing for you. You were like, I just want
me.
y'all to understand like what God's trying to say.
Yes. I want us as believers to know God's truth is supposed to be over and above all the stuff that we become so divided about. And all. So I was like, I hate that people miss that point over this non-issue. That hurt my heart. Because I want to be responsible in communicating God's word. But it also made me sad because I was like, oh, I thought people know me. After 25 years of being in ministry, of teaching God's word, of never being ashamed or communicating in any way that I don't affirm my own culture and my own race. And it just made me so sad because you think people at this point are aware that your history should speak for itself.
Yeah.
But then you realize, oh yeah, they don't actually know. They don't know me.
Wow.
So look, this is a great thing.
Yeah.
Not only is it not the whole world talking about it and it feels devastating, but also you realize how small you are in the bucket of the world too. This is humbling as well, because most of those people talking about it, they don't know that I've written all those books. They didn't do all them Bible studies. They ain't never heard a message that I've preached.
Right.
They've never been anywhere. They don't. So you think, oh, I thought y'all know me by now.
Right.
And I remember several very, 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 very high profile people, if I said their name, were commenting and saying things that were negative. And
Really?
and I realized these people have no concept of me at all. I'm just some girl who said
Wow.
this. So they don't have the history to know that, no, that's not her. That's not what she meant. So anyway, it was
This is
very
so devastating.
disconcerting and disheveling to be in that position. It was hard for me. I did ask wise counsel. There were some people I didn't ask who just called me to encourage me. Some older,
nice.
wiser people in the faith who are high profile who called me and just said, hey, I want you to know we know who you are.
Right.
Don't let this stir you up.
Right.
We got you and we know who you are, girl. You have nothing to prove. And hearing those voices of encouragement were so steadying during that time. But it was like I felt like I had, still sometimes a little bit, I felt like I had PTSD from it.
Yeah. Oh.
Because it was so jolting, like, what? I could be misunderstood like this?
Do you think that, like, when you're on stage, have you ever been like, oh, wait, or like beforehand when you're prepping, let me be careful about saying this because I don't want this to happen again?
Never in regards to truth.
Right.
But in regards to the way I might communicate something, I try to think through it, not based on audience. I'm never adjusting based on this is a mostly white audience, mostly black audience, mostly charismatic, mostly conservative, evangelical. I'm never thinking about that. I'm like, this is who I am.
Right.
So I'm just going to, it's too much work to me to be trying to adapt.
Yeah.
But you can be responsible as a communicator. That's what I'm thinking about. Is there something that I would say in this group of people, in this context, that I already know up front, it's going to be lost in translation? Clearly, I don't want to do that. So I'm thoughtful about that only to be responsible.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think.
But I also don't want to be fearful.
Right.
I don't want anxiety or fear about the potential of somebody taking 30 seconds out
Yes.
and misconstruing it to be the reason why I do or don't determine what to say.
And you've never been like criticized like that, obviously not at that level, but like before, like where you've been like, oh wait, I didn't say that and people are getting the wrong message? Or was it like the first time really where you were ever like
that in the public with people I just don't know? There have been things throughout my life. I remember being 15 years old and there was a girl at youth group at the church. This like scarred and wounded me. I don't know why it was so deep, but she just did not like me. And it's the same principle though. She didn't like me. She was disseminating information about me that wasn't true. So other people were thinking things about me, talking about me
like
behind
high
my
school
back.
gossip type of thing?
High school gossip kind of thing. But I'm saying in the moment when you're 14,
Oh, yeah,
15
no, for
years
sure.
old, it's devastating.
Right.
Because you're looking at the person going, why don't you like me? What I didn't do anything. And if I did do something, I didn't mean like, I thought you knew me well enough. See, it's the same principle. I thought you knew me well enough to know that even if I did offend you, I wouldn't have intended to do that. So I thought we were past that. And why are you talking about me behind my back? So it's devastating. And I remember Miss Nicole from the church that you know, she's one of my lifelong friends. I remember her saying to me when I was so overwhelmed by this girl that didn't like me, Nicole said to me, yeah, Priscilla, you know what? She doesn't like you. And it's okay. Everybody's not going to like you.
Yeah, I think that's hard.
It's hard.
It's like you want everybody to like. I'm the same way. I want everybody to like me. Like I want y'all to know.
I'm
like,
not doing anything for you not to like me.
Yeah,
We may
like-
not be best friends, but
right. Like I don't like feeling like a possible tension or animosity if I walk past somebody. Like I hate that.
Yeah.
Like why would we not just be like cool? Like be like, oh, what up? You know what I'm saying? Like I hate not being able to freely talk or feel that.
engage with somebody.
Yeah, it doesn't. I hate that. So that's can be a negative, obviously, in the wrong light. 'Cause
Yes.
it's like everybody's not gonna like you, and then it comes
It's
to people
like a
pleasing.
revelation, really, when you grab hold of it, that can carry you through the rest of your life. Everybody is not going to like you, meaning it don't matter what you do, it doesn't matter what you say, it doesn't matter how hard you try. They're still not going to like you.
Yeah.
Some people just aren't. And here's the revelation part. It's okay.
Yeah, I need to get back. I need to actually adopt that
Yeah,
because I really want people to like me.
I
Like,
know.
I really do. It's
Why,
just,
why do you think you're wired? Like, what do you think about you? No, let me ask the question differently. Here's the real question I want to know. Do you find yourself doing things, changing things, adapting yourself in ways that maybe sometimes don't cost you a lot, but maybe sometimes are uncomfortable, but you're doing it because you want to be liked? Or are you saying there's just an awareness inside of you that you...
I think it's more of an awareness. There are some times that I have, like, maybe like the first example that comes to my head is like our Liberty basketball team is like predominantly white, the humor is different between black people and white people. Like just like especially like
That's true.
The humor is just different. Like it's like Blackish or The Office. You know what I mean? Like it's a little bit different sometimes.
Oh, those two shows,
Yes.
Blackish or The Office, the humor is different.
Yeah, the humor is
Correct.
different.
That's a great illustration.
And so like sometimes I'm like, if I say this in the setting, it's just not going to be funny.
Yeah.
And so I had
They're
to
not gonna get
learn
it.
how to rewire my jokes or rewire because I try to be like, I'm pretty humorous naturally.
Yes.
And so like I like to make people laugh and it just connects and all the things. And so sometimes I will try to, or I have tried to rewire how I say things, the emphasis in the jokes to be an inclusion
Yeah.
in like the humor part.
But that's not changing yourself.
It's not changing myself except for when it comes to the jokes that I'm making. Not taking the joke that I would say and then transforming it, but actually saying a whole different joke that I wouldn't say because I know it's funny for everybody else. You know what I mean? Like I feel like, but that's just a very, very, very minor example of like a time where, or situations where I'm like, okay, like how do I
Yeah.
fit into the mold and the culture, even if it's a little bit outside of myself,
Yes.
for just to make other people like me. Like, you know, it's just a.
So what are you going to do about that?
Figure it out. Pray. I don't know.
Because I
Just not
think
do it.
there's what you just described is kind of what I said about when I'm speaking. There's a responsibility in just deciding to communicate in a way that relates to the pocket you're in the moment. But then that can easily cross a line where actually you're not even yourself anymore because you want to make sure that everybody likes you. And that's what
Yeah.
I'm more talking about. I'm just talking about when you're not even who God made you to be. You're wrestling with the uniqueness that God actually gave you because you're like, I'm not enough like them, or I'm not going to be approved by them or impressed by them. That is a enslaving way to live.
Yeah, I don't think it's like that.
No, I don't think you're like that
because I'm
either.
like very like, whatever. You know,
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna. That's too much work to not
Yeah.
do that. But
So how do
Yeah.
you deal with, how do we separate constructive criticism and being receptive to that and open to that and discarding actually the comments? Because sometimes, to be honest, if we think about it, there are very, very many of us who haven't talked through this. So every negative thing that comes at us, whether from people that are in our physical life or people that are just online, we let it carry way too much weight
right,
than it needs to carry that comment or that whatever.
right.
So what do you think the dividing line is between actually receiving constructive criticism and discarding the voices or the thoughts that shouldn't be carrying weight in our
I think I actually have a lot of like thoughts on this because we talk about a lot in basketball, obviously being on the Division I stage and 5,000 people are watching you every game. And then there's Twitter comments after the game if you lose or you didn't make the bet because someone put money on you and you missed the free throw, or, you know, just a bunch of stuff like that. But before I talk about that, I wanted to say something about all the people online that are criticizing because I got a thought. And then you were saying like high school gossip and how it's similar, but the Bible talks about gossip and drama. And so online, like there's a online, if I'm gonna talk, if you are one of the people who are going on there and are criticizing and are saying
Just
hey,
trolling.
just trolling and criticizing, that's actually a form of gossip, and that's actually a sin in the Bible.
Yeah, that's good.
It's not like you are doing harm in the body of Christ, not good. Like it's not.
Yeah, and we have to
working.
be aware how much weight our words are carrying. That people,
Yeah.
is somebody on the other side of the screen looking at it, hearing it, wrestling with it, struggling with, especially if they're immature or young in their faith or whatever, and you're coming at them about their appearance or something they said or whatever. It's actually doing something to their soul and crippling them socially, or they're having anxiety.
Yeah.
Our words matter.
Yeah, and I will even take it like not a step further, but in the same light, even if it's not social media and you're criticizing people behind the scenes to your friends. I have a lot of, because of the space that I grew up in, because of, you know, the ministry and Poppy and you and all the people, I was able to see a lot of people like behind the scenes that other people weren't able to see. And so when I got to college, you know, but when the whole media thing transpires and people are criticizing, canceling people and all the stuff, I had friends that were talking about the people that were being criticized behind their back. Like, oh, how could he do that? Terrible person. Like, is he really a believer or saved or whatever? And like, there was times where I'd be like, wait, I actually know them. Like I've been in the room with them. Like I talked to them or listen to my parents talk to them or talk about them. And I know people who I trust and know in their relationship. Like I have more of bearing on that person than you do. And it just always makes me super sad because I'm like, that person's really just trying. Like sometimes people watch, but like he's really just a human like you and me.
Yes.
And it just gets amplified because it's on social media. He's a public figure or she's a public figure.
Yes.
And so
People create a caricature out of these people.
Yes.
And it's like, no, they're real people. They have the best hearts. They're like, love people. They love the Lord. Are they perfect? No. Did they?
Right.
But they're not what y'all saying.
Right. And and people just be like talking so bad about them behind their back. And I'm just sitting there like, y'all, like, you don't even know them.
You've never been in a room with them. You've never spoken to them. You've never actually asked them any questions to see what their thought process was. And you're
in your entire life, and you are dogging them like that's your friend from 3rd grade.
Yeah.
Like it's actually terrible.
Yeah, it's unreasonable.
Yeah.
And again, because of social media, everybody's voice is amplified.
Yes.
You can see the comments of the people wailing on you about whatever.
Yeah.
This is like a little off topic, but Julia Roberts, you know who that is, right? Lord have mercy. Julia Roberts, golly. But anyway, it's the same generation of actors as Denzel Washington. Julia Roberts they've been in movies together. She's one of the most famous actors.
Right.
Okay. I can't. Anyway, Julia Roberts, maybe in the last year or two, she posted a picture playing a board game in the early morning at her house with her niece. Mm-hmm. Her niece was over. They had coffee. They were just playing a board game. She posted what she thought was the sweetest picture. But it's early in the morning. She has no makeup on. Neither does her niece. They're just sitting there, whatever. She's just like, sweet moments with my niece. She had to come back online later, and this is all I saw was the after the fact, where she did a whole video explaining the devastation of posting this sweet moment. And all these people had comments about the way she looked early in the morning, about they're like, oh my gosh, that's what she looked like. And then some of the comments were about her niece as well.
Oh my gosh.
And she was explaining how torturous and difficult it is to be human and to just share a moment and for people's comments to come back. And she said, if I'm a grown woman and I felt, because she's got to be late 50s now, I think. Mm-hmm. I don't know. But she was like, if I felt the way I felt about this sweet moment that I just was sharing because it was wonderful for me and my niece. And if I felt that way about the comments, I'm thinking about my niece.
Right.
Who's a young woman, a teenager, young adult. How that must impact and shape the next generation. Yeah. If I can barely stomach it, I can't imagine what it's doing to her. And she was just like, y'all, do better.
Like, seriously, like, what are we doing?
What are we doing? We're just tearing each other down. Yeah. Okay, so let's get to the...
I can answer your question back to the other side of the criticism. Okay. So, like I said, basketball player, we get talked to a lot about criticism and how to take criticism, how to use it constructively, all this stuff. And so a quote that Coach McKay says all the time is, if you live by their praise, you'll die by their criticism. Mm-hmm. All the time. And so it's a self-reality check, like, okay, when things are going good, do you look for that in the validation of everybody else, especially people that you don't know? Mm-hmm. And so recognizing that in your personal life also will be a telltale sign of how you use criticism whenever that comes about, because you're going to have a bad game, or you're going to mess up on social media, or you're going to say something that got misconstrued online. Like, if you're living by their praise from that, you'll die by their criticism.
Totally.
And so how you steward people in general.
Yeah.
But like, being able to, like, I think for me, and, you know, you can say your thoughts on this, but like, criticism is good in, is that the dog? I thought it was Jackson. Criticism is good if taken correctly by the right people.
This was the point I was going to make. Go ahead. That's perfect.
Like, I think that realistically, like, you can have a safe boundary of being able to look at people who you don't know and be like, oh, okay, like, they're actually just saying that. And it helps me. Like, for example, one of the comments one time was talking about how I was chewing food. I didn't even realize it. And they were like, oh, you can not chew food because it whatever. And no.
Oh, on this podcast. Yeah, on this podcast. Someone made the comment, I can't get over the chewing of this gum.
Yeah.
It's too loud.
Food, yeah. And so I was like, yes, I need to remember, like, I don't need to chew gum or food. Like, that was
That's constructive.
That's constructive. Yeah, I appreciate that. And then there's times where they're obviously just trying to bring you down. But
Can I interject real quick?
yeah.
Don't you think the difference in like the illustration you just gave is someone can comment on something done without commenting on who you are. They
Ooh,
don't
that's
make
good.
that you're
Yes.
you raggedy, you a bad person. She meant this. You
Yeah.
don't know what they meant. You don't know their
Yeah.
heart. You don't know what they're thinking. So you can
That's
comment on
good.
the thing
That's good.
without saying you raggedy.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, that's actually really good. Yeah, if it's a direct jab at you and not the thing that you're doing, that's probably a good sign of whether they're actually trying to help you or trying to harm you. That's good.
Very good.
But really, I feel like it should be, you should have a close circle. You should have a protection team, a group that is honest with you and like transparent with you, that those are the people that you trust and should take criticism from the most.
That's so wise right there. I hope everybody got that, especially the younger people among us who are listening. This is exactly what I was going to say, that there are people that should be in your sphere who you've pinpointed, that these are the people who are invested in helping you win. These are the people invested in your life. They're walking with you. They care about it. They want you to win. So when that person comes by and says, here's something that sounds critical, you know it's constructive because they're invested in you winning.
Yep.
Those are the
Yep,
people
that's
whose
good.
voices you give weight to.
That's good.
The other voices, whether praise or criticism,
Right.
you take them with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Like on both extremes. Don't read your PR either way. Don't read your press either way, good or bad. But the people that are invested in your life, they're for you, they're with you, they're on the journey with you, they're encouraging to you. Those are the people who have enough relational capital
Yep.
that when they want to say something that's actually, you should have said this differently, you should have moved differently, you should have responded differently, you should have reacted differently, you need to change that. Weigh that.
Yeah.
Take that to the Lord and go, okay, what do you want me to change as a result of this?
I also think that they understand your goal and your vision and nobody else does.
Yeah.
Like they understand what you're trying to accomplish. They understand what you're trying to get to. Like the steps that you want to take to get there. They understand the whole plan that you have set in place. People who don't understand the end goal or the vision that you have aren't going to understand the steps that you're taking to get there.
Right.
And I think that's been a big thing for me in college, because my criticism isn't really in the form of social or public or anything like that. It usually comes in subconscious forms from people that I know.
In what forms?
I shouldn't say subconscious. It comes in little minor, like
little passive
little
statements or passive little jabs.
Or,
okay.
comments or like things like that. But it only comes from them not understanding my goal and my vision and where I want to go, and them judging or criticizing the steps that I'm taking right now because it doesn't make sense to them to where I want to go.
And so then do they carry weight with you, or are you like, no, I know that you're not on this journey with me?
It depends. It's
Depends
done
on who
both.
it is.
Like
Yeah.
sometimes it's like, I don't even know about who. It just depends on like how firm I am in that thing. Like when it comes to like, oh, this is my journey in Christianity. Like this is where I like my faith. I want to grow it and all this stuff. And so I'm not gonna go to the party, and I'm not gonna drink, and I'm not gonna do all that type of stuff. Then I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like I don't care what you think. Like this is what the Bible says.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. But when it comes to like abstract visions per se, like where it's not the Bible and this is it, but it's like, oh, I want to build this business over here, and in order to get to that, I have to go this route.
Yeah.
Whenever it's not like a one way to get there, and then it criticizes, it's easy to be like, oh, am I on the wrong path? Do I need to take this right or to this left instead of going on the thing that you said you were
And that's when you have to go back to the Lord, but also to that little circle of wise people you've put in your life and say, what's your insight on this? Should I change course? Should I not? And then trusting that sounding board of wise counsel in your life.
Yep.
So I think the 2 action items we have come up with here today, because I think this is such
so good. That was so
this
so
is
good.
such an important topic, because criticism and critical comments, again, they're amplified because everybody's got a microphone, they got thumbs, and they whatever. So everybody's affected by this, whether you're in the public eye or not. So the 2 action items to me are, number 1, have people that you have designated as the folks whose they have enough weight in your life and are for you and are with you and care about you, that those are the people whose criticisms or whose comments or whose corrections you allow to have weight in your life.
Yep.
Everybody else is grain of salt.
Yep.
Grain of
Legit.
salt.
Everybody else is whatever, but those people need to
So
be.
decide who those people are, and then I have those people in my life. If they come to me and say, you need to fix this, I'm
Oh
listening.
yeah, you like, okay, they want the best for me.
Yeah.
I need to figure it out.
Yeah, and I'm grown. Like, here I am 50 years old, and I still have people in my life that I'm like, tell me
And
what I
that
need to
means
correct.
that you have to be vulnerable enough to
teachable.
I was gonna say that, vulnerable enough to share, and then humble enough to be taught,
to receive. That's good. That's good. The second thing is this is what I want to encourage too. Do the hard thing necessary to protect yourself. Meaning, if that means you actually need to turn off your comments,
Yep.
you actually need to do your posts and enjoy yourself and online with your whatever, but you need to turn off the comments.
Yep.
Because you ain't got time.
Right.
You ain't got time to wade through, to respond to people, to answer, to go through the emotional turmoil of seeing what they said about your outfit. Girl, turn the comments off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Block the people that you can already tell they're not for you. They're not interested in encouraging you.
One view, that one comment is not gonna change anything in your grand scheme of things.
No.
That is not worth your emotional turmoil.
Third takeaway. And this was something I was thinking of earlier. Ask the Lord to keep you tender to the things that you do need to be receptive to. What you said was humility of heart. I say that because, we've been public-ish for 20, 25 years. I still get emails, letters of people who have a question about something. I always listen to the questions that have to do with theology.
Yep.
Like if they did a Bible study and they're like, I read this line or this comment or this interpretation, and I'm not understanding this.
Yeah.
We respond to everybody as we're able to, literally respond.
Yeah.
And I always say, at the end of trying to answer them as succinctly as possible, I always say, thank you so much for taking the time to email me.
Yep.
Because your question provides me with accountability. I'm grateful for that because I'm not perfect. Would you pray for me that God will keep giving me grace to do the best I can to handle his word? So on issues of theology, and also I can tell by the tone of the email from the very beginning or the tone of the letter, I can tell if you just up in here.
Right.
Or if actually you're wrestling with it and you want honest clarity. So when I see that, I ask the Lord, make me discerning enough when I can tell that person is genuinely leading a Bible study group with 100 women and they want to make sure to handle it right. Well, then, yes, I want to pause. I want to answer them and give them clarity. And then I want to say, thank you, because your question made me go, Lord, did I say this right? Did I communicate this right? And so I think there's wisdom in doing that as well, saying, Lord, keep my heart open to the criticism, for lack of a better word, that actually you do want to use to help correct. I think this has been a very helpful conversation.
That was good.
I would also like to say that I have appreciated sitting here in my outfit while we had the conversation. And I don't know if you appreciate the outfit or not. What I'm saying is I appreciate sitting here in the outfit.
Well, the conversation was so good that I forgot you were wearing it. So there you go. I'm hoping everybody else forgot to. All right. See y'all.
I hope they didn't forget. Look at my cute earrings, though. You see that? $5.99. $5.99. That's the way I roll. Shoes on sale. See?
Goodbye, y'all.
Bye.